So if you go under Tools, you will see Access Management Console option here. So we will click on the link and a warning pop-up will show. Here you will click yes, and once you click yes, it will take you to Access Management Console. Now here you will see we have 4 tiles that the org administrator will see. First, starting with the new user registration, then we have access request, pending approval, and lastly, user management. We'll now show how we send an invitation to an end user to register with MyGinnieMae. And we do this by first clicking on the new user registration tile. Once you're here, you click on Application. And once you click on Application, you will see the user registration link, which you will then click, and a pop-up will appear. Here you will see the user request form, which you will fill out, starting with the title. Once you enter your title, you will then enter your first name. If there is a middle name, you will then enter, and then your last name. Next, we enter the job title and the org ID. And here we will put in the end user's email. Now do note that if the user is already registered in the MyGinnieMae portal, there will be an error message that will prompt. So we see here Wade is putting an email account that's already existing, and you see the red box. So this is a way of knowing that if the user is already registered to not enter and enter the correct email. So we'll then correct this to the appropriate email, and the system will validate, and we will not see the error message. Now that it's corrected and we're satisfied with the information we put, we will then click Submit. And now the registration is submitted. We would go to Pending Approval tile. Here you can see the user registration approval and the access request approval option. And just like we saw earlier, we do have a user that has been registered with the first org admin, and now the second org admin will go in and will have the option to either reject the registration or approve. So you can here verify the detail of the user, and if you are satisfied, go ahead, click Approve Registration. And once you click Approve, you will then be prompted to confirm. Go ahead and please confirm. And now the user is registered. So the next step that we will show is how we give a functional role to this user. And to do this, we will go back. And here, once we go back to give functional role, we will click on the Access Request tile. Once we're inside Access Request tile, we will look for the user that we registered. So here on the bottom, you can see John Wade with the email that we used to register. We will select this user by clicking on their name. Once we click the user's name, we will then select the organization we want to give them access to. So for our case, it is 3153. Once we select, we then click Assign Role. Now you will see all the options, the functional roles that are available to give out for this issuer. And for today's demonstration purposes, we will select the authorized signer. So we can select MF Loan Delivery and Pooling Authorized Signer. And if the user requires additional functional role, we can also select the desired roles. And once we are satisfied with the roles that we're giving, we can then click Assign Role on the bottom right. And to note, there is description to these functional roles. So if you do not know what these functional role means, you do get a description to the right. And once we're satisfied, we click submit. Here you will see all the entities that goes within the functional role. Then we go to pending approval tile. Here, as the second org administrator, we will see under access request approval, the user and the functional role pending. Okay, so you can now see the request. You will have the request ID, the functional role, the organization, the user email, and the status. So here you can see it's in pending status, waiting for the second administrator to approve. And here again, you will see the detail of the functional role with the username. And once you are satisfied with the detail, you can either reject it or approve. So we will go ahead and approve this and confirm it. The functional role is now approved. Now please note, after this step, the operations admin will have to then go in and finalize the role, as mentioned previously. And once the role is finalized, we can then go into the user management tile that we saw. So if Wade, you can go back and click on the user management tile. Here we will have the option to see the user's detail and the status of their functional roles. So here you can see all the users' name, their email, and their organization. And the reason we do see multiple accounts here is because multiple users are registered under this organization. So the account that we just recently approved, functional role, we can click on that person's name and it'll take us to their detail. Here you can see, if you can scroll up under the user management here, you can see the user's display name. You can see their email address or their login ID, their title, first name, middle, last name. Here, do note that the org admin will have the option to add the RSA token detail. Underneath, we will see their email, mobile number, work number, and extension, along with the organization information, their job title,